You're just in time. Saved you a seat for the Pillars of Man, your number one podcast for the best conversations you could find aimed at male self improvement. And as with any conversation or discussion you could possibly have about men self improving themselves, that is not possible without speaking upon masculinity. You have absolutely heard of this word. You might have heard it so much already, you could be kind of sick of it. It's all over the place nowadays. Well, one of the biggest reasons is, apparently masculinity is experiencing a crisis right now. There is a just an exodus of men going away from their natural, traditional, primordial ways of being masculine. Yet, if you listen to the media, I'll say news outlets, this is just major sources of info from society, then masculinity will be portrayed as one of the most lethal toxins known to man. Okay? That its toxicity is, I don't know, right along the lines of radiation after a nuke, something like that. Okay, you and I are a walking weapon of mass destruction or something like that, bro. But then you go on social media and you engage with the virtual space of the internet, and then you'll hear all these guys describe masculinity as this supernatural, spiritual superpower, Superman, Super Saiyan, just, this revolutionizing uh, ability that's latent and hidden within all men. I mean, you want to talk about two extremely opposing ends of the spectrum. Okay, well, my deep dive tonight is I'm going to take a stab at this myself, and I'm going to do my best to both highlight the importance of masculinity and help unpack it in a way where you can immediately apply it for your own life. In fact, I think how I'm going to try to do this is I'll actually use your life. I'm definitely at a disadvantage because there are so many details about you I don't know. I really, all I know is that I'm looking at you right now. Yet, if you are a man interested in cultivating your own individual sense of masculinity, and it's just, you have hit that point in your life. This is interesting because you would think, oh, this is going to be for a very specific demographic of men. My episode tonight for guys going through this existential crisis, like, oh my god, how much time do I have left? It's either become masculine now or never. But I mean, hey, I'll definitely be talking to these guys, but it's not even like that. Masculinity is universal for men. Okay, fine. Maybe I will leave generation beta alone. Aren't they still kids with the Fortnite, Ohio Giat, and all that? They are already fast developing into a very interesting generation. But for the alphas and up, okay, and I mean these three, this trinity of male generation is closest to me. So I'm most definitely talking to all my alpha kings and my zoomer kings and my millennial kings. But any man interested in, if you're a dude that ponders this question to yourself, what would I be like? I mean, hey, you may have no intention or desire to do anything about it. I hope to change that. But just a simple question, okay, as it echoes across your mind, what would I look like? What would I be? How would I behave? What would I be doing? How different would my life really be if I were exercising my own, what I love to call what I love to call. It's my little counter to toxic masculinity. Ooh, that's a that's a trigger term for me, and I hope to get there. But this is why I say divine masculinity. I do get most of this through the Christian biblical lens, where I do believe genuine, true masculinity, uh, healthy. I'm dramatic, so I like to call it divine, but healthy masculinity should be guided by God. I'm I'm not even going to try to do that. I want to establish this basis here where masculinity for you, brother, was never the enemy. It simply can't be. This is a natural part of you. It is supposed to mature, grow, flourish. That is very much a part of how you become your best version. So these two things, they coincide for me. A man self-improving. So I mean, let's keep it kind of superficial, kind of stereotypical, just to kind of make it easier. Self-improvement. Oh, okay, make more money. Oh, okay, sure. And the gym. That's a huge one. I love that one, like that pillar of growing your masculinity. And sex life, sure. Romance, dating, okay. The uh, oh god, they deserve their own episode, okay. But just women, right? And so you got the wifey. What do we? Wealth, health, okay. I don't care. A job, yes. Career, purpose. How are you making all that guap? You want to do better in these four areas of life. So, the way I see it, it's not possible to do better in any of these areas of life without at the very same time increasing your own, yes, masculinity. It's not that women who do these four things are definitely, I mean they should be. I mean, it's a very human thing to, oh, let me keep up with my fitness and exercise so I can stay healthy. Make as much money as you can in life. Oh, absolutely. Power to people. And to have a successful romance, loving, loyal partner. Ooh, that's definitely, I believe that is a key piece to the the uh, generally speaking, the grand vision, the dream we're all chasing for success in life, and then, yes, and then career and job as well. But it's different because for a man to get into these things, as you try and tackle these problems in your life, the simple fact that you are doing that, and you're gonna have to, it's right, it's kind of, like, this is just reality. So you're going to be doing that through the male human experience. So to do that is to, even if you're unaware, almost without being conscious of this, you are going to apply and implement certain parts and components of masculinity into your own daily life choices and decisions. I want to use your life because, I mean, hey, if you want to, feel free to leave it down in the comments below. Of course, you don't have to, but I can only imagine, until I somehow, some way, possibly meet you. I can only imagine the kind of struggle and difficulties you are experiencing right now. All right. So let me take it off you for a second. I will return to a hypothetical, stereotypical example. And when this is a guy. Well, he is between the ages of 18 and 40, and let's make him single. And that doesn't do too bad. He's got his own one bedroom apartment. Okay, and he's got a job, and he holds it down. does it well enough. His boss is like, "Am I gonna? No, no, I'm not gonna fire him yet." Okay, that's really good. All right, you want to try to keep it like that, and this fellow is making ends meet, and let's say he's pretty busy Monday through Friday, and he gets the weekends back. Okay, that is like as stereotypical as it gets, and so this kind of life right here, what I just so let you know, you might already be seeing where I'm headed, but I will build up from here as I just continue to paint this. What I just established right there as our example could be, but possibly, the most tormenting, torturous, arduous, miserable, depressing, just grim, gloomy, and doomy lifestyle it in modern and present existence right now. I know what? I didn't really give much detail, but I gave enough. You feel me on this, bro? What I just explained right there. That absolutely, this is not, so the scary part is I believe I'm not exaggerating. It absolutely can be. Or now, of course, at the same time, come on now, bro. Okay, of course. On the flip side of that, it could also be very purposeful. Same dude, same life. We're not changing anything. But how about just the perception of how he's living it? Because with the depression and the misery and I just realized I kind of made it sound like hell. But that's literally not even an intended pun. So what differentiates between this modernistic hell-like daily experiences to one that is okay, what are some of the dopest, sweetest ones? Joyous, peaceful, purposeful, exciting, honest, you know difficult and uncomfortable, but also satisfying and fulfilling. Let me throw in one more, because this is really important too. And I never even used to believe that this last one, last but not least, is important until it was taught to me. Fun. So what? Okay, so that sounds like so that's now remember the same dude, same life, but that kind of life right there sounds like a man who's made it. That sounds like a man who's already successful. What in the world? What is this guy doing? Self-improving. I mean, the way I just described, we got two guys right here. The way I just described Mr. I don't know, Paradise over here. It sounds like, yeah, he's got it going on. It sounds like he's got it all figured out. It's it doesn't have to be. I mean, he could have it all figured out. I mean, but all right, bro. Let's let these dudes let my two uh example bros chill, and I'm gonna put it back on you now. So, brother, do you have it all figured out for your life right now? I mean, hey, you could very well be one of these guys. Maybe you're in the middle. Maybe you're this weird, mix, a little bit of, some of the hellscape over here and some of the paradise over here. So, see, bro, the defining factor that cannot be denied for any man who is serious about creating his own paradise. Let me just specifically, it's like, oh, okay, paradise, like what the coconut pina coladas, okay, with the straw umbrella, right? Palm tree. We got some sunglasses, and it's very sunny. Hey, I would be the first guy there. That sounds really nice, but that's not what I'm talking about. No, bro. Paradise, as in you're very extremely simple. You just wake up and you want to. No, I'm being dead serious right now. That's it. You have to imagine opening your eyes. And you are very well aware of the difficulties ahead of you. The challenges, the struggle. And don't like you, by no means do I want you to run away with it. It's perfectly fine to keep it in a little neat, tight 24-hour interval. We're literally just talking about the rest of the day, man. I mean, hey, do you sleep for 8? Please do. Get your 8 hours. Sleep is very important. But what does that really give you? Bro, that gives you 16 hours of consciousness. To do what? To kind of quickly, I do this in the morning, quickly think about it. Okay, so my morning is going to be like that, my afternoon is going to be like that, and my evening is going to be like that. And to love it, to, God forbid, enjoy it, want to live it. Remember my example. This guy, he lives in a humble one-bedroom apartment. He is alone. He is a single man between the ages of 18 and 40, and he is an adult. And he has a job that he works Monday through Friday, and he gets the weekends back. Yeah, that kind of life. So to still want to, okay, it plugged right into my layout. So it's like, Monday blues. Yeah, everyone's heard of Monday blues. To want to. Taco Tuesdays, to want to. Hump Day, to want to. Thirsty Thursday, that's what we called it back in college, to want to. TGIF, and then the weekend, woo, right? The weekend, no, but not to only live for the weekends. That's the thing, is what I'm trying to say. 7 days a week, 365 a year. Yes, absolutely. To get there, embracing your own masculinity is to take charge and lead your own life in a way where you're going to struggle gloriously, specifically in the way that you want to, for what you want out of life. You cannot, like I'm arguing, that's not possible without becoming more masculine. They intertwine with each other beautifully in this way. That's why you need it. That's why it's so important for you to think about this. So now let's get a little bit more specific. Is this kind of conceptual? I believe it is very conceptual. Well, let's really bring it down here. And because I said I kind of promised for you to immediately apply this. So to make it super, super practical, again, I am assuming you have never thought about becoming more masculine. You don't even you've never consciously decided, oh, hey, let me do something that's going to promote or help me understand my own unique sense of masculinity. Okay, it is about you in this way. You can compare. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I have so many role models. It's crazy nowadays, real and fictional, like real human being men, and tons of I love all sorts of anime main characters and superheroes and just characters from shows and movies. Okay, so it's a lot. But if you want to try and go that route and copy what you believe to be their most beneficial traits and parts of their personality and whatnot, that's perfectly fine. I would love to have you be most heavily focused on just you, on just how you can be more masculine. See, okay, brother, let's go a little bit deeper now. When you look in the mirror, right, do you feel masculine? Do you see a masculine man? It right is it, yeah, no, no, straight up. Oh, like, yeah, my facial hair is kind of masculine. This is kind of masculine. Jawline is not too bad, or whatever. But just let me take it to the extreme. And for a man to look in the mirror and kind of reel back in the flinches because it's kind of it's painful. It's a wave of disappointment because what you see is just wow. I mean, how am I supposed to call this guy masculine? I don't find anything about him, but let's see, that's the lie. This is deception, and in order to prove that, you have choices and decisions that you have to make in life every single day in order to try and live better. Period. So when you take masculinity out of this, I mean, if it's we'll go back to the very kind of the general ones I mentioned earlier. If you remember, I mean, health, that would be cleaning up your diet. That would be switching out processed foods and sugars, like sugar dense foods. Not that sugar is even the enemy, right? It's too much sugar and deep fried stuff and junk food and fast food, and to switch that out with healthy foods, whole foods, real food that you do enjoy to eat, but you're still going to have to make that effort to find it. That's pretty expensive nowadays. So probably that means you'd have to get into a little bit of cooking for yourself. That I know, I mean, what I'm describing right here is really not that serious, but it's monumental for the man who understands what I'm trying to say right here. That's because that's your own responsibility. There, no one is going to knock on this guy's door, like he's chilling. It's a Saturday afternoon and he's hanging out at his one bedroom apartment, and no one's going to come knocking and being like, hey, this is the recipe for you to be healthy. This is what you're missing in terms of nutrients. So uh, uh and by the way, here are the ingredients too, like here are the groceries as well. And now you're going to cook it, and I'll stand next to you while you cook it to make sure you cook it the right way. See, that's what I mean. That's just not how life works. If only, right? You a Batman fan? Like if we all had an Alfred, like good lord, there really would, like to be a man in this on this planet and to be unsuccessful would not be possible. Alfred is the bee's knees. He's just like what a butler. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just super dope. But okay, we will get away from the world of Batman. Maybe I'll return because he's actually such a masculine character. But hold on. So that's you. That's all you. If you want the benefits, do you see, bro? If you want to reap the reward of actually really becoming healthier, see, like, it's not. I, I know. It's kind of like I acknowledge the dramatization and the romanticizing of it, and yeah, a little bit of exaggeration too. But you see, the thing is, though, I'm really trying to pinpoint the beauty of when a man will, of his own sheer will, he will exercise, the usage of his own autonomy and agency to do better for himself. That is multiple things happening right there. I mean, sacrifice is happening. So What might he usually do instead of going out to the grocery store, finding the food, coming back, prepping it, cleaning, cooking, etc., 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 to like have this wonderful meal that is going to make him nice and keep healthy. A game he loves to play, a show he loves to watch, content on the internet he usually stares at for a prolonged period of time while also performing a um, aerobic cardiovascular exercise with his right hand. Do you see? Whatever he usually does, whatever that, okay, the the go-to, the huge, my boy would always say, that's just lingo for the usual, right? This is what always happens, and it gets broken right there. Brother, you take it and with your own bare hands, you snap it. Okay, and it's so that this continuity does not continue, and a new outcome and a new path may be formed, born out of what? It begs that question, and I find this fascinating. Born out of what? Born out of your will, your willingness to sacrifice. This is discipline as well. This is effort. This is leadership. You are leading yourself, not waiting, not I need this to happen. I need to be comfortable. Is it sunny today? Is someone in the background praising me? Am I going to get a pat on my back for doing this? I have someone cheering me on, like some moral, emotional support. Will someone be on the other end of a call, of a FaceTime or something like that to congratulate me that I did this for myself? Once again, bringing it back down to real reality, I believe 99 times out of 100, maybe even 99.99 times out of 100, that answer is no. That is just not how life works, and life is brutal and harsh in this way. Maybe I'm soft for saying that. Fair enough. It's just, my point is, it'd be nice. That would be lovely. You kidding me right now, bro? That would be fantastic. You do something for yourself. You be responsible. You try. You do something that you never usually do, and it's happening because you know it's good for you, even though you don't want to, or you don't feel like it, or it's hard, or you've never done it before, or it makes you really uncomfortable, or in between you and me, all right. And hey, we keep it real here at the Pillars of Man, so it's all good, bro. If this is true, it's I'm right there with you, is what I'm trying to say. It might even scare you, like genuine fear. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Nervousness of some kind. Just like I don't usually live like this. I don't usually do this kind of stuff. I'm just not a guy that cooks. And in the face of all of that, you still would. However brutal or harsh life is, doesn't matter for a man like you in this scenario. That's masculinity. That is to be more masculine in life. And I'm talking about meal prepping. I'm talking about making let's not make this too dramatic. This is just some chicken breast, some broccoli, some white rice, maybe throw some cheese on that bad boy. I love cheese. Take it beyond this. Put it in anything. Put it in the other three. Put it in trying to make more money in life and get promoted, have a better job, go into a completely different field, cultivate a new career. Okay. This is probably the biggest one that you need it for, because last I checked, the ladies are all about this. Okay, they're literally texting each other like, my man is more masculine than your man because, and then they go, you right, the fingernails tap 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 tap. They start going crazy. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Just like observing females in the wild, right? Definitely gonna need some masculinity there. You know, what did I say? What was it? Oh, wait. Oh, and money and career, kind of the same thing. It's fine. I know you get it. See, bro, it's in all of it. It's inescapable in this way. Now, see, isn't that so funny? When you have a man who is not living for any of this, or he doesn't take any of this seriously, or he doesn't pursue any of this, it's just not a thing for him. That is, I believe that's most typically where you'd find a real life situation of a man who sees himself as like he does like masculinity does not dawn upon this fellow. It doesn't ever really penetrate any kind of neural pathway in his head. It's just a non-existent concept within his own mind. It's just not something he thinks about at all. And okay, fair enough, but possibly he'll also be, a guy that is not very secure in his own skin, not really confident with the kind of man that he has developed into in life. That is a very that right there, that is nothing short of hell. It's really, and that I am not exaggerating or traumatizing. I said traumatizing, dramatizing. It's very real. And the reason why, so, and the reason that it feels so torturous is because deep down, for the simple fact that you were born a man, you really do want to. I said 99.99. I really, the vast majority of men absolutely would love to become and witness their own individual final forms, the very best man that exists within them. This concept I call the king within. This is the very best of you, brother. How do you bring that out? How do you really get as masculine as you could possibly be? You bear the responsibility that your unique life situation is forcing upon you when, like, it's very conditional. So only when you demand better, you want more. So let's again, if you'll allow me to, we'll just place it on the basis of my example, just to make my life a little bit easier. And so it's like, this guy's not doing bad, right? Like there's a, hey, look, no, for real, there's so much to be grateful for right here. He's got a roof, the 1BR apartment. He got the roof, working Monday through Friday. He's got income. The guap is coming in. Might not be a whole lot, but it's enough for water, electricity, and clothes. This man is not naked. He definitely paying the phone bill and the Wi-Fi bill. Let's give him a car too. His car insurance, his gas, it's all sorts of stuff. And he's paying it all. Okay, what a outstanding, upright man, tax-paying citizen, right? That's not bad at all. That's blast, actually. But it's if he says it. It's if you say so, bro. So when you speak out into this universe, okay? Now I believe you're actually speaking in front of the Almighty. Father will hear you say, but I want to be able to afford things that, like the more luxurious and the finer things in life. I would love to have a house. What a what a what a grand slam a house has become for the younger generations today. You know, where maybe back in the day, a house was available for anyone just willing to play the game. I'm young though in this way. What do I know? And you want a house, and oh, you want a wife, right? A woman you're attracted to that's attracted to you as well, and you want to make tons of babies with this chick. Like stuff that you really do want. Like when you say that, and those are wonderful things to have. In fact, I believe these are some of the sweetest treasures any man could behold for himself. That's not just a great life. Hey, our single king over here, you could argue, I kind of just did for a little bit. That's a great life. This is an amazing life. This is spectacular, brother. And I'm telling you that you can have it if you are willing to face. You must be able to uh, embrace and confront what you know is going to be difficult for you. Now, because I don't know you like that, again, I will just resume the example. For this guy, he's going to have to keep that up. He's going to have to make sure he gets into the grocery store even when he's tired, even when it's a long line after work, and he's literally pulling hairs out of his head because it was a bad day and he got a ton of heat from his boss that wasn't actually his fault. It's just his boss is so stressed and got his own problems, um difficulties with his own marriage, and like issues at home and whatnot, like personal problems. He would never know, yet that doesn't change the attitude and right the how badly it was handled, and he got the full brunt of it. And that really ruined his day, and it's just a crappy day, and there was a ton of traffic, and then he's got to get into the store, right, and there's a super long line. But just going off of principle, right, exercising, holding on, clinging on for dear life, the discipline. This is not an option. He doesn't give that to himself anymore. When a man is so fed up with the life that he has always lived, the one ever since he moved out, ever since he became independent, or ever since he just became a man, legally speaking, in the lens of this country, 18 and up. So like after his 18th birthday, it was just like, okay, here I am, real world, right? Isn't that what all the adults told us as kids? Like, oh, y'all better shape up, right? Y'all better like take this more seriously. Like, it it won't it won't be you're not gonna be coddled anymore, so to speak, when you get out into the real world. I remember my buddy way back in the day in the classroom. He literally like his hand immediately popped up, like just so he could rebuttal my teacher, and he was just like, teacher, so what are we living in right now? Is this the fake world? I just remember, I'll never forget he said that. It's not that it's the fake world, but it's definitely really different when you're living in the safety net of your parents, or I should say, if you were a man that was lucky enough to be able to do that. Once you get out here and it's really like just you, like for this hypothetical king, single, alone, doing his thing, that's the challenge of a lifetime. I don't care how other people look at this, how YouTube gurus and internet internet writers and blog posters and influencers and content creators. I'm a content creator, but I'm just saying, like the internet, the real world, news agencies, governments, okay, normies. I don't care who says what about how hard it really is, because no one will ever be able to understand that. Only you will. So in this way, there's no reason for, like, you don't have anything to prove to anyone. That is a nonsensical and useless fight to try to win, try to explain to people. I actually really do have it very difficult, and it's because it doesn't matter, bro. I would say let that go. And I would say instead, just focus on, give your undivided attention, pour all of your effort, as much of it as possible without, burning out. And I mean, hey, look, if you're a beginner, and what I mean by beginner is you're literally getting into all of this stuff for the very first time. Maybe somehow you stumbled upon this episode tonight, okay, from my masculinity deep dive, and this is your first time searching for male self improvement content on the internet. Okay, you could be in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. You know, I I respect that. I just I want I really wanted my deep dive tonight to be applicable by any man, because any man has the ability and capabilities of prospering his masculine identity. There is no better way, in my humble opinion, to do that but to tackle your own life's challenges. You already have plenty. Rome was not built in a day, and I'm not recommending for you to overwhelm yourself and try and tackle all of these things at the same time. That's definitely, I do not recommend that. I recommend so many things, not that one. No, it's really much more of a one day at a time. No, it's more micro than even that. One foot in front of the other. Because I'm a man that fully understands what the burden of this reality, this universe, you and I were so lucky to have been born into. I completely understand how nightmarish, how how colossally difficult it can get to even place the next foot in front of the other. I say that from personal experiences. It's only when you go through it yourself, it's only when it happens to you, do you really get the full picture of how heavy your feet can get, so to speak. It changed my life. It completely rocked my worldview. Okay. Just like my entire foundation of what I understood to be difficult or easy for a man. I mean, this does tie into kind of the more cliche and blanket statement, which is really more of a life expression than anything else, that you be kind, right? Always be kind, because you have no idea what kind of war any individual is fighting behind the scenes, the stuff that they don't talk about. That's why I respect the guy that is going to do exactly that. Just, okay, I have my path and I know where I want to go. And I know where I want to go because I know what I want out of life. So, one foot in front of the other. And that's it right there. You do that, bro. And with each step you take, this is my promise. I guarantee you get more and more masculine with every step you take. In fact, I will push it a little bit further and say it's not possible for that not to happen, because you're only going to get closer to the challenge until you're actually in it. You are only going to go deeper into the difficulty of what you need to do. Because look, for the hypothetical king, once he gets meal prep down, that's not the end of it. That's awesome. But then it's like, okay, hey, you way healthier now. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Ooh, lost some belly fat. Okay. And you got some more energy, and you feel better, and you can think a little bit more clearly, a little bit more snappy. Okay. Right. Like, just the cogs up here and the cogs all in here are just running more smoothly and more efficiently. What does that mean? I mean, that just means he has that much more life force to invest in whatever he wants. We'll keep it right, but just for this, just to make my job a little bit easier. And let's say, so now he can divert his attention to the other three wonderful investments. Love, okay, that's a whole lot. All right, maybe this dude, no judge, maybe this dude is super socially anxious. He's gonna have to, like, check out how to be more confident. He's gonna have to try to practice charisma. He's going to, work on cadence, tone, delivery. Okay, nervousness, right? Not hey, it's okay, it's okay, you be respectful, have that emotional intelligence and situational awareness, and a cold approach, right? And, it's not that serious. You go up to her and you give it your best shot. Hey, like, oh, how's it going? I saw you from over there. I thought you're super cute, and I wanted to ask, are you from around here? That is mind-blowing. May not be mind-blowing for you, it's mind-blowing for me. Okay, all right, like that is that is a scary interaction right there. You know what I mean? Like, you just, like some of us are just like, is that an iPhone, or is that pepper spray? And you, like, you want to be able to dodge real quick and get out of there, right? if it goes south. But yes, and to make more money, it's like, okay, I need to start networking. I need to put myself out there more. I need to do a little bit more research. I need to put some more time into studying, maybe understanding and researching certain concepts and topics so that I can be more familiar with them, more well versed. And it's like, oh, absolutely, of course you can. How would you do that? What resonates with you, right? What invokes passion out of you in this way? It really is so much. It's so much because life is so vast. It's filled with so much opportunity and possibility. What it's missing is your potential. That is divine masculinity right there. For you to bring out this potential for both yourself and the world to witness. That is majestic. That is magnificent. It's one of the best things, one of the greatest things you could ever do for yourself. And right? And that is so grand. That is so epic, the way I'm making it sound. But it is. Because when you whittle it down as far down as you can, it starts at the humble beginnings. It starts at the very, very, bare necessity of, I really need to just clean my place up. I really need to, like, drink some water. I really need to, just eat a little bit healthier today. I really should. I don't think I'm ready to go to the gym. Maybe I could just go outside for a walk. Okay, maybe what do I usually do at this time? I'm usually watching or playing something on a screen. Maybe I don't. I set a timer for 30 minutes and I'll just go outside and I'll just walk. And so I'll let myself self-reflect. I'll let myself think about stuff. If it's stuff that bothers you, if it's stuff that, like, is very painful for you, that's a message from yourself that you need to address it. That's not something to escape from, run away, medicate, sedate, numb. You never needed to. That's an option. But no, what you were always able to do was confront it, understand it, unpack it, heal from it. It's getting a little blurry now, simply because it really is so much. I'm going to end it here tonight. This was one of many, because there's so much more to be said, but I really wanted to I did my best to make tonight kind of a little bit more comprehensive, and just to help give you a better, clearer understanding that your most masculine self is not just available to you, it's ready for you to chase. You've always had it in you because you were born as one. You were born with it. You don't let anyone else tell you it's toxic. Don't let society take this from you. That's a trick. It's a lie. It's not that masculinity cannot be, it can't, it's not that it can't be evil or negative or whatever. It's that when done the right way, it will come out of you, okay, as the individual and unique man that you're going to grow as, like your best version. That's going to come out into the world as healthy and divine. And maybe that does um, beg the question, well, how? Like, how so, and in what way? I hope to address that and more in upcoming episodes of this podcast. So, if you're interested in content like this, and about more masculinity and just really anything or everything that goes into male self-improvement, then check me out, because you're watching the Pillars of Man, your number one podcast for the best conversations you could find aimed at male self-improvement. I'm your host, Kumo. I continue to reshape the modern male reality, giving any man who wishes to pull the very best out of himself a way to do that. I thank you so much for being here, bro. You like content like this, hit that subscribe button for me. If you think I did a good job, maybe even give me a like too. And I hope to see you real soon. Same time, same place, right back here. But until then, take it easy. Take good care of yourself. And I love you so much. Peace.